Furogu! Kiddo, kiddo.
Hello! Today, I will be showing you what to expect when putting in your Battle Beaver parts. I will not be doing a takedown video. This is not a takedown video. I don't feel comfortable showing someone how to do that. So I figured since I was going to take apart my controller, I would show what actually inside of a Battle Beaver, what to expect when you actually apply the buttons in yourself. So yeah, I currently was taking apart my controller, and I'll just show you what it looks like. So, oops. These are the Battle Beaver buttons. So I will just slowly take them out because they are single pieced. So and I also I have a camera with no autofocus. I have to focus it myself. So this is what to expect when you receive the Battle Beaver buttons in the mail. You will see, this is what I mean by they're separate pieces. I couldn't find my default PS4 DPad, but I had some spare parts PSP D-pads. So I thought I would show exactly what inside a regular PS4 controller looks like. So this is what to expect from a default PS4 controller. That's why it is kind of stiff when you play. But with the Battle Beaver, it's more smooth and fluid because it's separate. So this like piece isn't holding you back in a way. It's very like rocky and like you know the feeling. So yeah, so they all come in separate pieces just like this. So who wanted to see that? I'm finally showing you it. I'm sorry, I should have done that with my first video, but I was so excited to receive them that I kind of was like, I'm just gonna put them in. And this little piece right here, the circle piece, you may not know what it is when you receive your Battle Beaver buttons in the mail, but please don't throw this piece away because it's very, very, very important. When I mean it's important, it's important. So don't just think it's just like some trash they were trying to give you away. But yeah. So when you install the Battle Beaver buttons, after you just throw this piece, after you throw this a piece away, because you're like, fuck this. You want to make sure that the shiny part, you see the shiny? You want to make sure that piece goes the opposite. You want it to go away from you. You want it so the mat is showing that circle, little circle piece. So the side that's shiny is basically this piece right here. It's the same as this, and the back piece is basically this. So you want to have it, you want to make sure that you're not putting the shiny piece towards you. You want to make sure that it's going away from you. So you can just easily pop them in because it doesn't really matter which way you put them in. So yeah. And this is where the circle piece comes in very important. Mine's kind of lost its stickiness, so yeah. But I am doing it still. I still have it to show you for demonstration purposes. But yeah, you just want to like stick it like that. And the reason why it's there is to help to make sure that these pieces just don't move too crazy, because the reason why the PS4, may I actually use the black one? The reason why the PS4 D-pad is like that is to avoid like pieces like moving around too much. So yeah, so when you put that in, when you put the Battle Beaver buttons in, you want to make sure that you have that circle piece there to help it hold it together. And then when I kind of forgot. I kind of forgot if you need the rubber piece, but I recommend if you're buying the Battle Beaver buttons, you also buy the rubber. And Well, you should always buy a rubber, but you should also buy the screwdriver. I totally recommend the screwdriver. It's a very nice screwdriver. For $3, it's a very nice screwdriver. And if you are like really tech savvy and you use a lot of computers and you have like controllers and stuff, I totally recommend having a screwdriver like this. I also recommend having one of these. I have my little friend holding it for me, keeping my screws safe right now, but I totally recommend having one of these. Excuse me. I totally recommend having one of these. It's a screw, it's a magnetic bowl that just holds your screws in place, so that way it doesn't go anywhere. I got mine from Micro Center. I think it's like a Micro Center brand, but I totally recommend getting one of these because there's many times where I've lost screws because it just, like, you know, it went somewhere. I also recommend having like a guitar pick. You can get them pretty cheap from like Guitar Center and stuff. I think this one is a .73. So yeah, I totally recommend having one of those. Those are some like good things to have, just not even for like when you're working with a controller or taking apart a controller, just to have in general, because a lot of these electronics use the same thing. And then so you just push this piece in and oh, see, I almost made a mistake. Good thing I caught myself. So once you put in the Battle Beaver buttons and you put in the sticker to hold it in place, you just want to have this rubber piece facing towards you with the metal pieces facing towards you. You don't want to have it this way. One, because it won't really fit in and you're going to be like, what? It's not really fitting. But also, you want to have it this way because it's the correct way of having it. Excuse me. But two, it's because this piece interacts with this piece right here that makes the whole magic work. So if you have the rubber piece the wrong way, the two metal pieces on this, sorry, it's kind of hard to hold both, but you see that the metal pieces on this and the metal piece, these both have like metal pieces. So like when you're pressing down on a button, you're kind of just pressing on this. So these two metal pieces need to be in contact with each other so that your inputs can actually work. So you want to make sure when you're taking apart your controller that you make sure that this is in the correct position. So that way, when you put your whole controller together, it works, and you're not like, why isn't it working? But yeah, I just want to give like a small. I know some people just wanted to see what it looks like, what the Battle Beaver buttons look like in general, and what it looks like when you put it inside. So I thought I'd give like a small demonstration because I felt like that's something I should have done at the beginning with my first video, but I didn't. But I saw that a lot of people really wanted to know more about the Battle Beaver PS4 buttons, and I just want to fill in that niche because I felt like when I was looking up for the buttons myself, I didn't find any videos, so I thought that I would share that with you. So I still recommend getting them. They're really, really, really good buttons. I totally recommend you getting them if you feel that the regular D-pad isn't really working for you, or you just want to have like cleaner buttons. When you first get your Battle Beaver and you install all the parts and stuff, there's one thing that's going to be very, very annoying, and that's like it's just something you're gonna have to something you will definitely get used to. It's just it's just uncomfortable for the first few times you use it. But one thing that is annoying is sorry. One thing that is annoying is when you first get them, your hand is going to dig into the buttons a lot. One thing one thing that was like at first very annoying, and I think a lot of people also agreed what that was annoying, is that when you first get your Battle Beaver buttons, it will feel very, very, very weird. Like your hands will kind of like feel like, oh, this kind of hurts. And if I could get this piece in, I can show you why. Okay. So when you first, so when you first get your Battle Beaver buttons, it's gonna dig in. Your thumb is going to dig in a lot. And when I say it's gonna dig in a lot, you're gonna be like, this really hurts. And another reason why the PS4 D-pad is the way it is because it avoids you. I know that I have it apart right now, but it digs in a little bit to the sides right here. And that's what the PlayStation default controller, default buttons avoids from happening. But don't worry, after a while your hands will get used to it. Trust me. If I wouldn't sit here and make this video for you guys if I didn't recommend them. So I think that that's the only thing that you will have a problem with. There's like no real learning curve. I think the actual learning curve is probably taking apart your controller. And I will say this again, please be careful when taking apart your controller. Please be careful when taking apart your controller, especially when you get to this part. You want to be careful with the ribbon. I avoided doing a takedown video because I don't feel confident in taking apart something like this because one, I am not good at explaining stuff because I am a visual learner. But I thought that I would still show you what to expect when you get to this part because you know, I wanted to show what to expect when you get to this part, and I also want to show people what the buttons look like, because I feel like that's another thing people are like really wondering what they look like. So yeah, I hope you liked this video, and I hope it was useful. So I will show you in game now how the buttons work for me. So I hope you enjoyed this portion of the video. Thank you. Bye bye. For this portion of the video, I'll be showing you the Battle Beaver D-pad and the default PS4 D-pad. So this right here is the original PS4 D-pad. When I was first starting Korean backdashing, I was using the regular D-pad, and my input, I had a harder time doing the inputs, but my inputs have gotten better, so I thought I would still show it. But I think if you're just starting out doing a Korean backdash with this with the regular D-pad, and then you switch to the Battle Beaver, you will see more of you'll see more improvements in cleanness in your inputs. I still stand by the Battle Beaver. Your inputs will be a lot more cleaned up because with the PS4 inputs, they're a little bit more stiffer, so you have to try a little bit harder to get the inputs you want. It's not as nice and simple and light as it will be with the Battle Beaver. And I'm gonna say it again, my Korean backdash is pretty good on player 1 side. It's not as good on player 2 side, but I'll show on both sides. So this is me Korean backdashing. Yeah, my Korean backdash is kind of good. I'm kind of nervous now, so it's kind of been messing up. But this is my Korean backdash on player 1 side. So as you can see, I can do it pretty good with this controller. Yeah, this is so I'll do a forward dash. So my forward dash is pretty good on player one side. I can if I can move. So I do have to like try a little bit harder. Mostly because I don't really use this type of controller anymore. So yeah. So let's do it on player two side since player two side is like my not as good side. I'm currently learning how to do Korean backdash on player two side. So yeah, I'm having a little bit more of a hard time doing it. It's still like, you know, if someone saw it, they'd still think it's pretty clean, but it could use some work. So as you can see, I'm having a harder time doing it on this side, and this is my forward dash. Um, yeah, I'm totally like, wait, I'm saying in my head, why is it so hard to do it with this controller? This is not my controller. But yeah, this is how I can Korean dash on sorry if I'm not like showing my controller. It's kind of a weird position to be in, but yeah. And now I'll show you with my controller. So this is with my controller. This is the Battle Beaver buttons. So when you get them, they are very clicky. They're like so if you have a mechanical keyboard, it will sound it won't sound exactly like a mechanical keyboard, but it is very clicky. So that is something you'll have to get used to. So let's do it on player one side first. So this is my Korean backdash on player one side. It's a lot more easier. Like I could sit here and talk to you and have no problem. It's a lot easier to do on player one side. And I don't really have to think about it. And this is my forward dash. So it's a lot less input you have to do, you know. It's not, I mean, not less inputs. It's just lighter. It's not, you have to put your whole body into it. So again, my Korean backdash isn't as good on player two side, so I actually have to sit down and like try and do it. Let's see. Putting me on spot. But yeah, my Korean backdash isn't as good. My forward dash is pretty good because it's basically doing Korean backdash on player one side. But it's a lot more easier. I actually realized, I'm having a easier time doing Korean backdash with the other controller. But yeah, this is my Korean backdash with my controller. As you can see, I still need practice. It's not as good. Yeah, but if anything, playing with the default controller, if you want to think of it, I don't know, in like anime levels, is like playing with weights, you know, like your Lee from Naruto. It's just like playing with weights. If anything, it probably will strengthen your inputs. So yeah, I'm actually getting my Korean backdash practice right now. So as you can see, for me, like you can't really tell, but it's just a lot easier. I don't really have to think about it. There was a time when I was just sitting there playing with the default D-pad because I didn't have my controller at the time, so I had to play with it and play with the regular default controller, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a hard time. It really was like playing with weights. So yeah, I thought I would just give a demonstration. I feel like this is kind of pointless because my Korean backdash I think it's pretty good, and I don't really have like I don't think I could give a solid like, oh yeah, it's so much better. Like, you know, you could really see the difference because I think my hand dexterity is pretty good with with the controller now, so I don't really have that problem. But I thought I would show, you know, I do have a lot easier time Korean backdashing with the Battle Beaver controller, so I thought I'd show it. The buttons are a lot clickier than they are with the default PS4 controller. So if that's something
you don't like, I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna have to get used to the clickiness because I like the clickiness. It's pretty satisfying. So, yeah, I thought I would just give a little demonstration for those who want. And I guess show off my Korean backdash. No, not really. Alright, here, that's all for this portion of the video. Yeah, thank you.